Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Sakif Wala and is a part of Rehan AI teacher training course. I am back with another TED Talk review. Today, the TED Talk I am reviewing is ABC of Brain Compatibility, ABC of Brain Compatible Learning by Anjum Babukhan. And it presents a powerful perspective on how we can improve teaching and learning by understanding the way the human brain actually works. Babukhan, an experienced educator and educational leader, connects neuroscience, psychology, and education to explain why traditional teaching methods may not always be enough for today's learners. Our central message is simple but important. If we understand how the brain learns, we can teach more effectively. One of the most interesting part of the talk is her discussion of digital native students. Today, learners are surrounded by smartphones, videos, notifications, animations, and endless digital simulation. Compared with the highly interactive environment, traditional classroom can sometimes feel slow and passive. Babu Khan therefore challenges teachers to think differently about how they capture attention, create engagement, and make learning meaningful. Instead of simply delivering information, teachers need to create experiences that touch, move, inspire, and motivate students. A major idea in this presentation is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and develop through experience. The experiences students have during learning can influence the connections and pathways within the brain. This gives teachers an important responsibility. Classroom activities should not merely fill students with information. They should encourage them to think, explore, connect ideas, solve problems, and apply knowledge. Learning becomes much more powerful when students actively participate rather than simply listen and memorize. Babu Khan organizes her approach around the ABCs of brain compatible learning. In the talk, she particularly highlights attention, body mind connection, and challenges learners with appropriate question and task. Attention is the gateway of learning because information that does not capture a learner's attention is much less likely to be processed and remembered. The body and mind are also interconnected, meaning that movement, sensory experience, and physical engagement can contribute to learning. Finally, students should be challenged at an appropriate level so that they are encouraged to move beyond what they already know and develop new skills. What makes this talk particularly valuable for teachers is that uh, the questions from how much content have I taught to how effectively have the student learned. This is an important distinction. A teacher may complete an entire lesson plan, yet student may remember very little if they have not engaged or if the information had no meaningful connection to their existing knowledge and experiences. Brain compatible learning encourages educators to design lessons around attention, curiosity, participation, emotion, movement, questioning, and meaningful connections. Our broader ABC framework extends to ideas such as emotion, feedback, humor, multiple intelligences, questioning, visual, social learning, processing time, and learner uniqueness. Another important lesson is that students are not identical learners. Every learner brings different experiences, interests, abilities, and way of understanding the world. Effective education therefore requires flexibility rather than a single teaching method for everyone. This connects naturally with approaches such as multiple intelligences and universal design for learning, where teachers provide different ways for students to engage with information and demonstrate what they have learned. I also appreciate Babu Khan does not present technology as a replacement for teacher. Instead, her message is about making teaching more responsive to the modern learning environment. Technology can provide multimedia interaction, simulation, and access to enormous amount of information, but the teacher still plays the crucial role in creating meaning, connection, motivation, and human interaction. The real opportunity is to combine technology with an understanding of how student thinks and learns. For me, one of the strongest takeaway of this TED talk is that good teaching begins with understanding the learner. Education should not simply be about transferring information from a teacher's mind to a student's notebook. It should be about creating the conditions in which the brain can pay attention, make connection, retain knowledge, ask questions, and develop new abilities. When teacher understands these principles, classroom can become much more active, engaging, and meaningful. Overall, ABCs of brain compatible learning is an insightful talk for teacher, parent, education leader, and anyone interested in improving the learning process. Anjum Babukhan successfully brings together ideas from neuroscience, psychology, and education and turns them into practical principles that educator can think about and apply. Our message reminds us that the future of education is not simply about using more technology or covering more content. It is about understanding the human brain and designing learning experiences around the way people actually learn. So that was all about today's TED Talk review. Hope you enjoyed the TED Talk and also learned something from it, just like me. Until next time, signing off. Allah Hafiz.